guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Shanae for those who do not know, and for those who do know, welcome back. Happy October. Today is October 1st, aka spooky season, aka Libra season, aka my birthday month, aka Kendrick's birthday month. Kendrick would have been 24 years old this Saturday. We're going to talk about why Kendrick is not here with us anymore. On the day of January 10th, 2013, Kendrick went missing, and on January 11th, 2013, he was actually found dead in his school gym, rolled up in a wrestling mat. Or if you were a cheerleader, you're known, like these mats are known to cheerleaders and wrestlers, but in this school, they were wrestling mats. January 10th, 2013, Kendrick got up, went to school, and attended all his morning classes like any normal day. It was around 1:30 p.m. where he is seen entering the old gym. Now I do want to make note that this high school had two gyms. This is the old gym and they had a new gym. So they named the old gym, and the new gym, the new gym. At 1:30 p.m. Kendrick is seen entering the old gym. It's assumed that he is going to retrieve his gym shoes because he does have a weightlifting class right after the class he just got out of, which let out at 1:25, and around 1:30 he is seen walking into the gym. So it's assumed that he's going to go retrieve his gym shoes. So when he gets into the gym, no one has seen him after this. This was the last sighting of Kendrick anywhere. His mom was actually waiting for him to come home from school. She knew that he was going to be a little late that day because he told his mother that he was going to an after school game. So she assumed that he would be home a little late, like 7 or 8 o'clock, and 11 p.m. rolled around and she was like, okay, where's my son? So she gets in her car. Kendrick's dad was out of town at this time, so she gets in the car and she drives around Kendrick's school, which is Lowndes High School. She's driving around the parking lot looking for Kendrick. All the lights are off. Everything seems like it's closed, like no one's there. So she's kind of confused, like, why isn't my son home? So she calls 911. She says her son is missing. This is around 12 a.m. She gives it an hour. She looks for Kendrick for about an hour. The next morning she's up. So she's up early in the morning making missing person flyers with the school's receptionist, and she's helping her get these flyers out and get the word out. But as she's making these flyers, at this exact time, students were playing in the gym on the bleachers when they see socks sticking up out of this blue mat. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, people store their gym shoes in these mats because I guess the school charged them to have gym lockers. So to avoid these fees, students just would stuff their gym shoes in these mats because nobody really moved them like ever. Oh, the blue mats, they're different. There's two different types of mats. It was the white mats and then there were the blue mats. The shoes were found in the blue mats because the mat, let me show y'all. The mat is standing up like this on the floor in the mat. They see socks right here. So a couple of the students go, oh, let's push it over. So they push it over. Blood and vomit is coming from the mat. And when the students see this, one immediately calls 911. The other ones go run and get the gym teacher. The gym teacher comes over and realizes that this person in this mat is actually dead. So the gym teacher gets everyone out of the gym into the new gym, and then the school goes on to a lockdown. So when the school goes into a lockdown, this is when Mrs. Johnson is actually in the office making flyers. And this is when she finds out that her son, Kendrick Johnson, is actually dead in the old gym. Police arrive and they do an investigation. They treated this as an accident from the jump. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about this case, but the people who are watching this video and they know about Kendrick Johnson, they heard the case, they researched it, they know, they treated this case like it was an accident from the jump. If they would have treated this case like it was a homicide from the beginning, who knows where we would be today? Because let me tell y'all. So Kendrick was found in the mat in an inverted position. So his body was basically upside down, feet sticking up, head is down. One of his arms was across his chest and the other arm was like this, as if he was reaching in to get his sneakers. But when the police interviewed students in that school, it was said that they never climbed up on the bleachers and went in the mats to get their sneakers, because they were always put at the bottom. They would just push the mat over, grab their sneakers from underneath, and leave it and push it back forward. Like, that's how easy it was. Students did this all the time. So for this particular time, for Kendrick to go into a mat, by the way, that is 6 feet tall, he's 5'10", 19 inches wide on the shoulders. The mat was about 12 inches. So you do the math. The police said that he died from asphyxiation. They announced it later that night that he had died from asphyxiation, which is suffocating in the mat. Like, he went to reach for his shoes, and while doing that, he fell in the mat, got stuck, and apparently no one around him seen that this happened, because if you assume that he goes into the gym at 1:30 p.m. where there's a bunch of students playing and walking and having fun, they would notice someone climbing into a mat. And if they did, and he needed help, all he had to do was yell and somebody would have helped him. So that's neither here or there. So they said he died from asphyxiation. No one believed it. The family didn't believe it. They actually hired a PI to look into this case. The pair of shoes that he was wearing that day, which was off of his feet, so they were next to his feet. It looked like they were thrown in there after his body was. And then his gym sneakers were in there. Well, one of his gym sneakers were in there, and one of them was actually behind his head, and it had blood all on it. And the other shoe to that one that was behind his head was outside of the mat, covered around blood. And everyone's like, how does this happen? How does Kendrick end up in an inverted position inside this mat with his shoes off and one of his gym sneakers behind his head and then the other one outside of the mat? So that's why people think that this was a murder, and they rolled him up in this mat and they pushed it up and they left him there, because it makes no sense as to why he would dive into a mat when he could have just pushed it back or pushed it down and pulled them out. Like, honestly, truly, if I left, like, I used to wear my sweats over my jeans in high school. Like, I get it. Like, we were lazy in high school. We were lazy kids in high school. And honestly, if I left my shoes under this mat, I would probably push the mat over and pull out my shoes before I'm climbing up and climbing into a mat. Like, honestly, truly, that's just like, I don't know, that's just the way I would think. Right around the mat, like where they found the shoe with his other shoe with the blood around it, right next to there was a wall. It had his school books over there, and there was also dry blood on the wall. They tested it and they realized that it wasn't Kendrick's blood, but they never did any further testing. So basically, they see the dry blood on the wall. They don't know how long it's been there. They tested it. They said, okay, it's not Kendrick's. It's not related to the crime scene, but it's right next to his dead body. But wait, there's more. Later on, they found out that there was blood in a trash can in a bathroom that wasn't even near the crime scene. Yet they tested that and found out where that blood came from, and it came from some girl during her practice. So they went so far to find whose blood that was in that bathroom, but the dried up blood right next to Kendrick's body was not important. The lead investigator said that they did not test that blood further because it's an athletic gym and people get hurt in this gym all the time. Who knows how long that blood has been there? Okay, if you truly honestly believe this, why not find out who blood that is on the wall? Like, you could have just easily done that, but they didn't. By the end of the night, they declared it to be an accident, and he died from, like I said, asphyxiation. So the mother and the father, Kenneth and Jacqueline, was like, no, nah, we're hiring a PI investigator. And as time went on, fast forward 5 months later, and they actually exhumed Kendrick's body to get a second autopsy from this pathologist in Florida by the name of Bill Anderson. And what Bill Anderson finds, you guys, in Kendrick's body is beyond me, I swear to the man above. I mean, hey guys, so the image you're about to see is super graphic. Before I show it, I did want to let you guys know so you don't have to see it. If you just look at the screen, you can see where to continue this video without seeing this graphic photo. In 2013, They exhume Kendrick's body, get it sent to Florida. Bill Anderson does another autopsy, and he says that Kendrick died from a blunt force trauma to the face and neck, like right over here. I think it's just more so the neck. So they was like, okay, so how did you come upon this conclusion? He said because he tested under the skin, it had internal bleeding. He also tested the other side, and it had no internal bleeding on the other side. So it was a blunt force trauma to the neck that killed Kendrick. And everyone's like, okay, this is what we needed. These are the answers we were waiting for. So when the pathologist opened him up, when Mr. Anderson opened him up, he noticed that all of Kendrick Johnson's organs were missing. From the pelvis up, he had no organs. His brain was missing. Everything was missing. And in place of all his organs was...
Organs, the heart, lungs, liver, etc., were not with the body.
What was in the place of the organs?
Newspaper.
Newspaper. Yes, you guys, you heard that right. It was newspaper placed inside of Kendrick Johnson's body, and no one knew. No one knew this. So CNN was sitting down with Bill Anderson, and Bill Anderson was showing the photos that he took of Kendrick's bodies when he was doing the autopsy. And as that reporter is looking at these photos, he says, I see a JCPenney's ad. I see a Black Friday ad in Kendrick's body. Like, I think it was the Huntington. Let me get this right. The Harrington's Funeral Home in Georgia did this. In Valdosta, Georgia. I'm gonna read my notes because, so after they found this newspaper in Kendrick's body, CNN actually reached out to Georgia's Bureau of Investigation and asked, like, where is Kendrick's organs? And the spokesperson from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation said, and I quote, "The organs were placed in Johnson's body, the body was closed, and the body was released to the funeral home." That's what they said. So we asked the funeral home what happened to Kendrick's organs. Nobody knows. And also, the clothes that Kendrick was wearing that day were lost too. CNN asked the funeral home, did you get the clothes? The funeral home said, yes, we got the clothes. The family's like, okay, can we have our son's clothes? And then they go, oh, we never received the clothes. It's just a lot of stuff that don't add up in this case. They actually contacted the founder of the Fountain National Academy of Professional Embalming states that this is not consistent with the standard care of embalming. So although it's not illegal to put newspaper into people's bodies, it's still not okay. Like, it's not ethical. It's like beating your kids. Is beating your kids illegal now? I don't know. I don't have kids, but it's like, it's your right to pop them, but it's not like morally right. Like, people would judge you for it, basically, is what they're saying. I don't know how I can make that connection. But now you guys are probably wondering, if he did not die by accident, then who did it? There are some suspects. They go by the name of the Bell brothers. The Bell brothers are actually Brandon and Brian Bell. Their father is Rick Bell, who is actually a FBI agent. So they lawyered up really quick when they were suspected of Kendrick's murder. Who suspected them was Kendrick's father. Wrote on Facebook that these boys did it because they had an argument with Kendrick a year prior to his death, because they were joking on the bus and Kendrick got like the last laugh from the group of people, and one of the brothers were embarrassed, so they got back at him by killing him. Honestly, truly, that's a bit of a stretch for me, because boys really don't hold grudges. But it was found out that Kendrick was seeing one of the Bell brothers' girlfriends or ex-girlfriend, or was in a relationship with a girl that they were in a relationship with. I don't know which one of the brothers, but it was said that he was in a relationship with one of the girls that they were messing with. They had an argument and he was hit, and that explains the blunt force trauma. They thought he was dead, rolled him up in a mat, but he was not so dead, because the second autopsy actually showed his fingernails, and they were actually purple and blue, which indicates suffocation. So whoever supposedly hit him and rolled him up in the mat. Thought he was dead, but he really wasn't, so later he did die. Asphyxiation and blunt force trauma. So that is one of the theory of the suspects. Honestly, truly, I personally think it was not the Bell brothers. After doing research, I don't think it was them. I think he did meet with foul play, but I just don't know who did it. Like, I'm gonna show you guys this clip, and I watched it over and over and over and over. Like, I'm keep saying over and over because I literally watched it so many times, and every single time I watched it, it just got creepier. And if you see this footage here, Kendrick actually starts running out of nowhere. Like, why are you running, Kendrick? I mean, everybody has the right to run, but like when you end up rolled up in a mat dead, everything is suspicious.
Let's go to the next one. You can see Kendrick at the bottom right of the screen. He's walking at first, and then he runs out of the frame, and just like the first video, other students just appear. No explanation of how they got to that point. You don't see them walk in. We've not edited these videos to just kind of put one image next to the other. This is how we received them from the sheriff's office today.
Just like this footage I'm about to show you now. Earlier, Kendrick was in the cafeteria minding his business, looking around, and this guy comes up and he pushes him. And he gets to the back of the line. Kendrick just looks at him and keeps looking for it. Now, any other normal day, he could just be like, hey, what's up, Kendrick? Kendrick could have turned around like, hey, what's up, man? And he went to the back of the line and Kendrick looking straight. But since Kendrick is not here to speak for himself, we assume the worst in that video. So that looks like bullying to us. Like, why would you sit there and push Kendrick? Like, what was your purpose? And Kendrick kind of just looked back at him, and he could have said, hey, man, what's up? Or he could have said, man, don't put your hands on me ever again. He could have said anything. I don't know. We don't have the audio. But we're going to assume the worst because Kendrick is not here with us. But this young boy met with foul play. I just don't know what happened. It's so much information. I don't think the Bell brothers did it. But there is a video of one of the Bell brothers actually going into the hallway with has a bag in his hand. And it's assumed that he has blood on the side of his shirt. Comes in. He changes his outfit and then he comes out. But I thought it was just like a pocket on a shirt or something like that. I don't know. I can't see. It looks like a pocket to me. But if you want to believe that it's blood, then you will believe that it's blood. I don't know. I've watched this video so many times. This case is honestly crazy. I hope we really do get answers for Kendrick and his family. And I really don't know what you think. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. My battery is dying, so I'm gonna go now. That's all I had to say. And let me hear your thoughts on this video. And I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye.